Ba 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 ba. It's finally here. Star Wars: The Last Jedi is hitting screens this weekend, and I am as giddy as a 5-year-old girl at Disneyland. No, seriously, I could not be happier with this film, and I was just blown away by it, and whoo, man, I love this movie. So The Last Jedi is episode 8 in the Star Wars saga and takes place soon after the events of the previous film, The Force Awakens. The Resistance is on the run from the First Order, and in the meantime, Rey has gone to seek out the legendary Jedi Luke Skywalker to ask for his help in the Resistance fight against the First Order. Now, the first film, The Force Awakens, in my opinion, did a really good job of bringing back the nostalgia of the original 3 films while also introducing the characters for the new storyline. And in essence, it created a nice bridge for the 2 generations of moviegoers from the first to the current generation. But now that that's out of the way, writer and director Bryan Johnson for The Last Jedi, whoo man, he just takes these characters and he runs with them, and he takes you to places that you would not have expected at all in a Star Wars movie. The Last Jedi is epic in the grandest sense, and there is a lot going on in this movie, and I don't mean in a bad way. None of it is convoluted, none of it is confusing, it's all relevant, but there's a lot of stories and things going on, and it's a lot to take in, but it throws these things at you in such a way that you're so entertained, and at the same time you're so thrilled, and I was at the edge of my seat the entire 2.5 hours, and I just didn't want it to end. That's how happy I was. There's a lot of intensity in these scenes. There's a lot of danger. You really feel for these characters when they are in peril. So that's a really big credit to Bryan Johnson for doing this. And you know, honestly, I've only really known him from the movie Looper, which I thought was a really good movie. But you know, I was like, man, this guy, they're giving him the reins to Star Wars, and he hasn't really proven himself. But whoo, man, I am a fan. Bryan Johnson, I bow down to you. You have created an excellent movie. Now, as I mentioned, he takes these characters that were introduced in the first movie and expands on their backstories, which I thought was really great. Rey, who has shown to be very connected to the Force in the previous movie, she now explores that connection she has while getting tutored from Luke Skywalker in the Jedi ways. And then you have Poe Dameron, who I think is really great. He gets a chance to really become a more 3-dimensional character this time around. He has more to do, and he just knocks it out of the park as well. Oscar Isaac, terrific actor, and he is creating a really iconic character now in Poe Dameron, and I'm expecting a lot more for him in the upcoming films in the future. You have Finn, played by John Boyega. Yeah, he's always been really solid. I just felt like his story in this film was the weakest, and it just kind of felt like with Rey here and Poe here, they just kind of needed to give him something to do. So I felt like his character's arc in this film probably wasn't the strongest, and yet he's such a good actor that every scene that he's in is still very entertaining and it's still very good. So it's not really a weak point, but if I had to nitpick, I would say his story was the weakest out of all of them. And Kylo Ren, who I thought was kind of a bratty, kind of a bitchy character in The Force Awakens, his storyline is expanded the most, and you really see his history and where he's been and where he's going, where he is now, and what kind of demons he faces. And that was a very welcome addition to this saga, and it's setting up the films to come as well. So I'm really excited to see where that goes too. Now, I mentioned Bryan Johnson's directing. This film is full of so many gorgeous shots. There are so many scenes where you can just take a still shot and just posterize it. The imagery, the visuals are absolutely beautiful. The colors, the framing. Oh man, there's so many times I'm like, oh man, that's a cool shot. That's a cool shot. That was a cool shot. I said that at least 5 times in this movie. So just watching it on the big screen, I was so thrilled to see this visual magic up there, and I was just blown away by that. The action scenes are very well done. The very first one, man, I never seen an X-Wing fighter make those kind of maneuvers that they were showing, and I was like, whoa, man, I don't care if that thing's impossible by the laws of physics. That shit looks cool, man. So, the action choreography is very well done. Overall, the movie is just very well directed. Good performances, good action scenes, and it's just, and he just throws you for all these loops and surprises, and you're really not gonna know what's gonna happen in this movie. So each scene, you're just like, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? You know, it's just full of these little twists and turns that you don't really expect from a Star Wars movie. So that was a really pleasant surprise, and like I said, it kept me on the edge of my seat. I was excited throughout. Like, it was 2.5 hours long, but it didn't feel like it. There were times where I felt like, okay, the movie's gonna end now, but it didn't, you know? But actually it was a good thing because I just didn't want it to end. I wanted to see more and more of these characters and where they were gonna go with them. There's lots of humor in this film as well. It's probably the funniest film out of all of the Star Wars movies, and the humor in this film is just kind of, some of it is kind of random, to be honest, but it works. It really does work. I'm like, did that joke really happen in a Star Wars movie? It kind of felt a little off, and yet it was so funny that you can't help but to laugh, and everything just really worked. The story, like I said, it does cover a lot of stuff, and as I was watching the film, I kind of felt like it's a combination of Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi in its tone. And I don't want to go into spoilers here, of course, because you know, you have to watch it, and I don't want to give anything away, but I did feel like it was a combination of those two films in the way the storytelling was done. Now, if I had to nitpick on a flaw in this film, it's probably, like I mentioned, the storyline with Finn and with Rose. I just didn't think that the addition of the Rose character was all that great. She's a good actress, but not that memorable to me. You know, if she's gonna be funny, she'll make it really funny. If she's gonna be feisty, she'll make it really feisty. But it just felt like they were trying to combine a lot of traits into her one character, and it just ended up being kind of like a mishmash that didn't really work all that well for me anyway. And like I said, that storyline that Rose and Finn has is probably the weakest out of the entire movie. But you know what? It's Manini. I don't care. Overall, I love the movie. It's epic. It's all you want in a Star Wars movie. There's great action, great character development. The storyline is epic. Whoo, man, this movie, I'm like, whoo, this movie is good. That's all I can say. I can't wait to see it again. I'm just nerding out. I had a really good time with The Last Jedi, so I think you know what's coming. Star Wars The Last Jedi gets a bang, 10 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and keep an eye out on my channel, MC on Film, for new movie reviews. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do so by clicking on that little face down there so you don't miss any of my future reviews. Thanks.